Peace, world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment clip. Some more bite down boxing commentary. One of the interesting things last night, and I sit here and listen to the messaging, and sometimes I get a little irate with it, but and I know you can't say anything bad about Deontay Wilder, not in this skin. Not in this skin I'm in. You can't question anything about that man without some kind of comment against you. But you mean to tell me that the comments of Paulie Malignaggi can get us a rematch that nobody needs to see? But the comments of Paulie Malignaggi can get us Wilder-Ortiz too. Paulie Malignaggi, the Magic Man. But Max Kellerman and whatever he did recently on his show, he did some little multi-hyphenated thing in talking about Spence Porter last week or recently, I guess, on his thing. But he can't say anything and there be some kind of mass support for us to get Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. And I don't know, man. It just kind of, like I said, man, I'm 44. Sometimes I just sit back here and I wonder what the hell is going on in the world. How many? Now looking at this, getting ready to pay $75 for the Wilder Ortiz 2 fight that Wilder has deemed, a necessary situation just because. So it must be, he's spoken it into existence, so it's coming. I got something to do that night. That's my wife's birthday, so I'm off the hook altogether, man. You can read into what I'm saying, but and salute to those people that's happy with that. That's happy to see their guy, in that fight. Salute to all of that. Like I said, I'll be doing something special for my wife. But, like I said, man, people's tastes and what they accept. Let's look at Power, for example. If you're keeping up with that. My mom, an aunt of mine up in Detroit, I just saw this earlier today, that last week was the best episode ever. This week, or my mom is saying this week, that Power is really getting good. It's getting good. You mean to tell me that a New York skyrise, a penthouse, was shot to shit with with an assault rifle, and the woman of the woman or the wife of that house, she's been gone for a minute now, but we learned this week that she didn't know Proctor was dead. At no point in time on the news or in the newspaper or just word in the street, nobody told Tasha that her house, her former home, was shot to shit. She's not even been contacted by the police to figure out, they don't know what the hell happened. But you mean to tell me she didn't know that this had happened? You mean that Tommy walked into an apartment building, no cameras, nothing in the lobby, no security, no nothing. But people are saying this is great. This is great. Lastly, moving on from Power, this week, now if you watch Billions, the first episode and a half or two this year, my man, I can't think of his name now. Not Axelrod, but the attorney. he spent an episode and a half trying to get a person a license to carry a gun. And we all should know, even if you've been paying attention to sports and know about the whole Plaxico Burress situation, you know that the stop and frisk, you know that having a pistol in New York City is difficult AF. But here it is at this party that they're going to pull this heist on this party. And my man takes out a gun and shoots, pulls out, or he takes the gun from James and shoots one of the robbers. There's no questioning about whose gun is this, who had a permit for this. I don't care if you did save 250 people's lives in here. Where you get this gun from? You fire a weapon and you don't know you don't know whether the gun is clean or not. How does James have a firearm? Like I said, it's just attention to detail. But I say all this to say that, when you out here in the world and you got to deal with everybody else and what they accept as fact and what they accept as, what's kosher to them, and you got people happy to pay $75 for Wilder and Ortiz. They tell you now that there could possibly be a pay-per-view of Errol Spence Jr. and Danny Garcia for $75 in late January. Who's asking for any of that? Who wanted to see either one of those? But it's going to be enough people who tell you it's great. It's the greatest thing ever. Boxing is the greatest thing ever. So, like I said, I'm still dumbfounded that the comments of Paulie Malignaggi in a heated moment on a fight night with him on the call, that he got us Wilder-Ortiz too, but no comments can get us Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, and arguably the best fight in all of boxing. And so, that's how we get here. And it's other things, How many times, you got to a certain part, after Jordan retired, and even 2 or 3 years before he retired, man, we just quit buying them new Jordans that they were putting out. We quit buying them. We didn't like them no more. They just ran out of ways to make shoes that people, regarded as classics, or they just didn't move the needle no more or anymore. A Tribe Called Quest is my favorite. It's happened with many musical acts. Public Enemy, A Tribe Called Quest, Wu-Tang Clan. They kept coming out with albums, and you quit supporting them. You quit buying them, But again, we're going to sit here and keep buying pay-per-views that somebody decided we should have because it works for them, or, they think, really it's an insult to us, but, it is what it is. But like, I'm saying all this to say that, like, it's gonna be enough people out there that's in on it, getting taken, to make it work. And so I don't know. You got the media doing different types of articles and on their campaign to try to influence, to try to shame the PBC into giving us this fight. And they don't have to do anything. They just don't. If you listen to Tim Smith recently on the Boxing Esquire podcast, he made a solid point, and he even his comments even reiterated what Andre Ward said on uh, the Joe Rogan Experience. It's business. It's a sound business strategy for them to do everything that they got going on in the PBC with Errol Spence Jr. They got they got 2 or 3 more fights over there that can be made, and that's what they're gonna do. Tim Smith said, hey, if the shoe was on the other foot, if Bob Arum over at Top Rank had a stable of credible welterweights, he said they'd be doing the same thing. So if they don't want to take the meeting, they want to sit around and try to maximize. And Tim Smith was like, we're grooming him into being a Floyd-like replacement or equivalent. And after we get done putting him through, and they complain. I mean, they said that Tim Smith said that conversely, Top Rank isn't doing anything for they aren't doing anything to build Porter up into. To build Crawford into a bona fide pay-per-view guy. Which with him not being able to fight any of their guys, it helps that be a problem for them. But he said if they're not going to do anything, then to build it up, it's just nothing that they're interested in doing. So like I said, hearing what was said and from his mouth, kind of just made me kick my feet up and just move on from it. Like I said, salute on this past weekend being over delivering. Shout out to Team Porter in in a hell of an effort, a hell of a fight. And now, like I said, I guess we get Crawford and Kavaliauskas in December 14th. And then, late January, it sounds like we could get Spence and Danny Garcia. And that probably, that means that probably Mikey Garcia and Pacquiao might happen. And then, the winner of that probably would be in the finals bracket, so to speak, with with Errol Spence. And Crawford is just SOL, pretty much. So, but like I said, it's gonna be enough people to say that it's good, and that's the one interesting thing. I just want to see what these numbers are, over the next 7 to 10 days when we start getting an idea what the buy rate was for last night's pay-per-view. Because that's kind of going to be reviewed and kicked around to see who really needs who may need to reach out to who to see what can be done, or what maybe we need to take that call, maybe we need to respond to that email, maybe we don't. But like I said, I gotta tip my cap to both of these cats, to both of these teams last night that did make a pretty phenomenal, event out of something that I had somewhat high expectations for. But like I said, I think what we saw in the ring last night really took it over the top. So again, man, come over or check me out on the Pay Me No Mind Sports and Entertainment channel on YouTube. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I don't really have nobody to go and talk boxing about or talk about boxing to or with. So I'm just running my mouth, man. One last note. This, I think it's a misnomer that Sean Porter can't box, doesn't know how to box, whatever. It might not look like slick boxing. It doesn't look like slick boxing. But you can't tell me that he can stand, as close as he's standing to Spence, and he doesn't have some concepts of boxing. Now he's a little reckless and high activity, and so I think he misses quite a few shots. If you're going to check out the CompuBox numbers, check my write up out over at bitedownboxing.com. But if you look at his inaccuracy and how badly he was missing a lot of time. But on the same hand, he caught Spence with quite a few good shots because it's so much going on that you're gonna get hit. And I just think he likes to mix it up like that. And I think he really displayed the courage last night to really stand in there and do all of that against a guy like Spence versus what we saw with you guys, where he just didn't seem interested that night. For whatever reason or another, he thought he could win in a different fashion. So that's what that's how he approached that fight. But to sit there and say that he can't box, I saw him getting in the front door, a variety of different ways, the feigning, throwing off Spence's time. And Spence wasn't able to catch him on the way in very often. Not many times at all, in my opinion. It takes skill in making that happen. You know what I'm saying? So to sit here, the angling, the positioning, staying offline, it's some different things that he's doing that are boxing concepts. So I can't sit here and say that the man doesn't know how to box. I mean, I don't get that. But look, let me get on out of here, man. Again, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Bite Down Boxing. Check me out over there, bitedownboxing.com. Don't let them count you out. Peace.